This morning I woke up laughing because what happened was so funny. I was very excited to get ready to make this video for you today. So I got up early, decided to go make my coffee and get myself ready by taking my shower, washing my hair, using the hairdryer, and there was no power. Now, that's funny because I could either take it personally, get really upset, or chill. So I decided to repeat my mantra. There is a river flowing very fast. Know that the river has its destination. We must let go of the shore. So I did. I waited for the power to come on. I'm here. It's okay. But it wasn't always okay. I didn't always go with the flow. When I was 10, something happened. My mother came into my room, and I could tell the moment she walked through the door that she was about to tell me something I didn't want to hear. I got all queasy inside. She sat down next to me on my bed, took my hands in hers, looked into my eyes, and said wistfully, sadly, "Honey, your dad and I are going to be getting a divorce. Your brother and you and I are going to be moving into our own house at the end of the school year." You might as well have stuck a hot dagger into my heart. It would have been a relief. At that moment, I was convinced there are no guarantees. I can't rely on anything. And there is no certainty in life. And that was not good news. I took that event very personally. From that moment in my life, I began to experience that life was happening to me, not for me. Fast forward to the age of 62, when I was holding my dear husband in my arms as he was taking his last breath. At that moment, I had gotten to the point where I had let go of the shore. And I really experienced that life was happening for me. To go to college, I moved to Northern California, and I was lucky to get into the San Francisco Opera Talent Bank, where I was performing in operas and schools and radio and television. I was on my way to the big time, and then something happened. I got pregnant. It wasn't convenient. I wasn't married. I didn't want to marry Sheldon. I loved him, but it was not something I wanted to do right then. So what do? I changed my goal. I decided I'm going to be a great singer, and I'm going to be a teacher, and I'm going to have a big house and lots of children. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but that was my goal. Along the way, I had a lot of bumps along the way, and sometimes I wasn't so sure that my dreams would come true until they did. You see this box? A few years ago, my congregation presented me with this box filled with hundreds of letters written to me from my congregants, my students, my family, thanking me for serving them with love and dedication over the years. I had been their cantor and spiritual leader for the better part of my adult life. And on top of the stack of letters was a letter from my daughter. I'd like to share that one with you. It's about my story. Thank you for giving birth to me, Mama. I know it wasn't convenient. I have been with you each step of your journey. I've witnessed you being mother to hundreds as you used your voice and your open heart to inspire, comfort, and guide. Now it's time to leave this home, Mama. It's time to step outside your comfort zone and grow beyond these walls. It's time to create magic in new ways, serve a larger community, let go of the shore. Now you know that life isn't about time, it's about magic. Love always, your daughter, Deidre. Curious how this letter got into this box. You know how I got the job? Because I was a very good singer, and I had developed a lot of chutzpah. I had 2 auditions for the job. Didn't happen the way I planned. The first time I auditioned, I sang very well, but I had that funny feeling. I got a rejection letter a week later, but I didn't accept it. I shouted at the moon, no, I am going to be the cantor of that congregation. And I decided to exercise extreme audacity and chutzpah, and I wrote a letter to Susan, the president, saying, I think you made a mistake in not choosing me, and when you have decided that you have, please call me. I'll be waiting. And then I let go of the shore. I proceeded to serve another congregation that year as cantor, and I was singing in concerts and opera. I was preparing to sing the leading role of Senta in Wagner's The Flying Dutchman. An opportunity of a lifetime, and something happened. At the end of opening night, as the curtain came down, the bottom fell out. The bottom of my operatic career at that time, the bottom of my physical health, and the bottom of my dreams to have lots of children. There was blood everywhere. What a mess. They couldn't stop the bleeding. Cancer? I can't have my babies? At that moment, I was certain that my dreams were over, to have my singing career and my big house and lots of children. So I thought. A week after I returned home from having my hysterectomy, I received a phone call that would change my life forever. Shalom, Sheila. This is Susan from the temple. Remember me? I'm so glad you wrote that letter. It so happens we did make a mistake, and we'd like to have you come back for your second audition. I got the job. A cantor in a congregation, a big congregation, to be teacher and singer, to have a big house and lots of children. Wow. That letter. I remember the day Deidre's letter was written. I was walking from the main office to my office, and I heard a voice behind me, Cantor Pearl, where's your smile? And I turned around as if awakened from a stupor, and it was our custodian, Zach, looking at me, kind of like he was thinking, say it ain't so, Joe, say it ain't so. I said, what? He said, I look forward to your smile every day. It lifts me up. What's with you looking at the floor all stooped over? I said, well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were looking at me. Is this better? We hugged each other. I thanked him, and I went to my office, thinking about how important a smile is and feeling very inspired by something, not quite sure what, and I felt the presence of my daughter Deidre with me. So I decided to write something. I wasn't sure what. I felt she was sending me a message. It was a message I didn't want to hear. Something about it was time to leave these walls. She was telling me it was time to leave my home, to leave my big house with lots of children, to go into another larger community. I didn't want to hear that, but I didn't want her to leave my presence. So I decided to sit and just write. And as I was starting to write, I felt like she was whispering in my ear. I ended up writing a letter to myself. Dear Mama, thank you for giving birth to me. I know it wasn't convenient. The tears started to come to my eyes. I couldn't see a thing, so I decided to just surrender to the moment, knowing that it was highly likely I would be retiring soon. And then I put on Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. I remembered the day I brought Deidre home. I was in awe of her tiny little fingers and her cute little toes. I loved to play with her in the morning. She woke me up with smiles and cooing and singing. I loved to smell her sweet skin after her bath and to kiss her crinkled little neck. Then I remembered the morning of March 7th, 1964. It was a chilly March morning. I took Deidre to the babysitter and I went to work. About 10 o'clock that morning, I got a phone call from Jane. Sheila, you better pick up Deidre. She's having trouble breathing. I rushed to get her, and that 20 minutes from Jane's house to Pat's office was the longest 20 minutes of my life. I got there and Pat came out to meet me. He took her in his arms and he said, "Honey, go home. Put your feet up. Have a cup of coffee. I'll take care of her and bring her home later." Finally, at 2:30, the doorbell rang. It was Pat. I could hardly wait to see my baby. I opened the door and there was Dr. Pat, standing stiff, pale, with tears in his eyes. He wasn't holding my baby. I knew. I didn't want to hear the words. I felt this electric chill rush through my body and rip my heart open. "I'm sorry. We did everything we could." Deidre was born with a congenital heart defect. Her heart was a fibrous tissue, not a muscle. From conception, she was designed to live no longer than a few months, basically to be a short magical moment in my life. At that moment, I understood that everything in life is on loan. At that moment, I understood that everything in life is a gift and that there are no guarantees. At that moment, I got that there is no certainty except uncertainty, and that's the good news. From that moment, I have held my daughter's spirit in my heart. She's been my guide and my voice every step of the way. And I have dedicated my life every step of the way to finding ways to be of service and to facilitate magic in people's lives. Step into the river. Let go of the shore.